This is Terrence Kyle with MTAC Roofing Systems doing a roof inspection for Noelle. Noelle, the first thing I'm looking for is, of course, wind-related damage due to the storm that we had on March 26th. I'm going to start out by inspecting the spot where I believe it came from, which is going to be this back slope. First thing I started seeing was marks like this right here, which would indicate to me that hail has hit the roof. You got granules down there because what happens is the hail hits and it knocks the granules off, and then the granules go directly down into your gutter. And I did inspect this gutter right here, and it does have a ding right there. Now I'm not sure if you can see that, but what I did as well is I took a piece of chalk and I marked up your soft metal just to get a good idea of how big the hail was. It wasn't giant, but this hail right here is enough to damage the roof. So I've marked up your hips, your ridges, because this is where you're gonna see the hail damage first. Stuff like that right there. Now your ridges didn't see a whole lot because these are a little more firm. They're a little more bent. However, these are flat. They have no support, which is gonna damage those first. You can see everything that I marked up. This is hail damage right here on the rear slope. Generally what I try to do is I try to keep it in a 10 by 10 area. I'll mark up 10 to 12. On this rear slope, you got 12 hits in a 10 by 10 area. Of course, I marked up your hips just to indicate to me that hail has hit pretty hard from that area right there. Then I inspected the left slope here. Now, if you look at it from an overview, you can definitely tell that this does not look like a normal shingle. Now, when I get close up on it, it may be a little hard to find the hail, but when I back up, you can see all the discoloration from where the hail hit, knocked the granules off. And now it'll be very easy for me to come up here and find it. Stuff like that right there. And generally when hail hits the roof, what happens is you'll actually be able to feel the indention where that hail hit. It's usually soft because it breaks the mat of the shingle. Right here, I've got about 10 to 12 marked up. On the front slope, I was actually able to do a 10 by 10 test square. And if I back up, like I said, I'll be able to see more spots of where it actually hit. But then I get close, start looking at it, you can see exactly where it hit. Right there. Now the reason why you see it much more on this slope is because this slope sees the most wind, sees the most wind-driven rain, and this is going to be the most brittle slope on the roof, whereas the north slope is going to be the most firm. It doesn't see as much sunlight, doesn't see as much weathering, so of course you're going to see staining. What I look for on a stained slope is I'm looking for the spatter marks. So I've met with quite a few adjusters, and they're not actually looking for missing granules right here. They're looking for spatter marks, the bigger spatter. Because eventually after time, what happens is these spatter marks might not be a problem now, but eventually these granules will start coming off wherever that hail hit, and then it can get down to the fiberglass of the shingle and of course start deteriorating that way. Right over here, you can see the hail showing up a lot on this slope. Like I said, brittle. This hail hit pretty much beat this slope. Whether it was big, whether it was small, you can tell it hit all over the place. Even if you can't feel it, I can tell you that this is where hail hit. You said it held for about 10 to 15 minutes. That's enough to beat a slope up for sure. And then of course, I marked up just a couple over here. And you can actually feel that broken mat on this one. Same right here, whereas it feels a little more firm right here, a little more soft right there, right there, right there. I marked up your turtle vents as well on the back side. Now, I haven't seen a whole lot of dings on your gutters. However, I have seen collateral damage. Collateral damage is basically where the hail hits and then it leaves a dent mark. So once I get down, on my way down, I'll start looking at all the gutters, just see if I can paint the picture of where it actually came from. But Noelle, I'm gonna get down, show you this video. And like I said up front, if the hail damage is up here, your neighbors are getting it done. There's yard signs all over the place. I would highly recommend me and you getting insurance on the phone. Like I said, can never guarantee that they'll pay for a full roof replacement, But what I would say is this is the best opportunity that we have at the time being. Noelle, I'll get down and show you this video and we'll go from there.